Hello everyone, this video is going to be about PPP loan and how to apply for one if you are self-employed, individual contractor or freelance worker. I know I should have made this video a little early and some of you might even question why I come up with this video so late. Well, the reason I'm making this video on PPP loan at this time is because there has been a major change on PPP loan guideline, which is very significant, and this change is certainly going to help a lot of individuals. I'll talk about this change later on in this video, and I hope this will be helpful for many people who are in confusion about PPP loan or in process of deciding whether or not they want to apply for one. Overall, we'll be going through the eligibility criteria on PPP loan. Then we will see how to calculate your PPP loan amount. After that, we'll look into the application process overview. And finally, we'll go through the application itself in detail. We will see where and how to apply and all the steps after the applications too, right up to SBA approval letter and funding. So sit back and be aware. So before we begin, I would like to let you know that the main purpose of my video that I've created so far are to help people who are confused on the topic of unemployment insurance or PUA and the entire COVID-19 circumstances that our people are facing. I'm trying to guide individuals to get the financial assistance during the economic hardship. So if you like the work I'm doing and the videos I've made so far, then please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. You can also leave a comment below and ask me any questions related to unemployment insurance or PUA, and I'll do my best to answer them all. Also, if you're new to my channel and you haven't watched any other videos about missing backdate payments and a weekly certification process, then click on the link above to check them out. So with that out of the way, let's begin the video. First, I would like to address two main confusion and most asked questions about PPP right off the bat. Number one, you cannot take both unemployment benefit and PPP loan at the same time, unless you'll be using the loan on other business expenses other than your income. Reason being that self-employed individuals most likely take PPP loan on the term that it is forgivable. And the best way to approach the PPP loan to make it forgivable is to provide yourself an income with the PPP loan. This method gives tremendous benefit for self-employed individuals compared to business owners in terms of the ease on which the loan is forgiven. Now you can take a PPP loan based on other business expenses as well, but at the time of forgiveness application, which is after 10 weeks, it will be a little more lengthy and tedious process, as you might need to show more proof of all the expenses. But that topic needs a whole new video on its own. So we'll leave it at that for now and get back on track. But if you need help with those topics and if you have some questions or you want me to make a new video on those specific topics, then please leave a comment below. Now moving on to the second confusion, whether or not you can reapply for PPP loan if you have already received the first PPP loan or the first draw. The answer is yes. Yes, you can. You can definitely apply for the second draw of PPP loan given that you have used all of your first draw loan within the specified guidelines. Now, moving on to the eligibility for PPP loan, you can apply for PPP loan if you're a business owner or a self-employed individual. Independent contractors and freelance workers are also eligible for PPP loan, so you don't need to have an employee to apply for PPP loan. As long as you are working on 1099K or 1099 miscellaneous, you are good to go. Now let's talk about how to calculate your PPP loan amount so that you can make a better decision on whether or not to move ahead with the application. And it's in this section where the major change recently happened. According to the old system, you would calculate your income based on net earning, which means you would need to take the amount on line number 31 of Schedule C of your tax return. But with the new system, which Biden just passed on February 24th, your income will be based on gross earning, which means you will qualify for a larger PPP loan, which is forgivable. To calculate your gross income, you'll need to see the amount on line 7 of Schedule C of your tax return. You can choose your tax return of 2019 to calculate your gross income, as many people have seen a decrease in their income in 2020. So please use whichever yields more income for you, that is 2019 or 2020 tax return. Now, once you have your gross income, you will need to divide the total gross income by 12, which gives you your monthly income, and then finally multiply that income by 2.5 times. This will be the total PPP loan amount you will be eligible for, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to pursue with the application for that amount or leave it at that. Here is a quick example of Schedule C of your 1040, and as you can see, line 7 is going to show the gross income. So for example, if your gross income is 90K, then you'll simply need to divide that by 12, which gives $7,500 per month, and multiply 7,500 by 2.5 times, which gives you $18,750. And that will be the total PPP loan amount. The reason why we're calculating the PPP loan amount this way is because SBA provides up to 10 weeks of your income, which will be forgivable. So I hope it makes a little more clear now, but if you're still confused, then leave a comment below with your confusion and I'll help you with that. Now, moving over to the application process overview, let's see how this process actually works in general. First, you'll need to find a lender to apply for PPP loan. Even though SBA is the one who is handing out the funds, they have handed the responsibility of reviewing and disbursement of the application to the lenders. So lenders are the one who actually will take your application, review it, and approve the application in order to submit to SBA for the funds. Now, there are lots of lenders you can choose from, like Bluevine, Kabbage, Square, PayPal, and so forth. So it's up to you to choose which one you want to go with. Alternately, you can also choose online bank networks or platforms who are not a lender themselves, but who helps to streamline the application process itself by taking the application and choosing the lenders for you. Usually, application forms and the interface is made much easier with the online bank networks. So you can't go wrong with either of them. As a matter of fact, many lenders also use the online bank network platform to receive the applications. So once you have made a choice of the lenders you want to go with and apply the PPP loan through them, you will receive an origination review and confirmation email after a couple of days. You'll need to verify the details and have it e-signed and send it back to the lender. After the documents have been e-signed, the lender will then submit your application to SBA for final approval and fund disbursement after that. The entire process usually takes around 7 to 10 business days depending on the lenders and how efficient they are, and also on the volume of cases they are receiving. Now let's go to the step-by-step guide on the process itself, and I'll show you how to do all those steps in detail. So first, you choose the lender of your choice and then go to their website and start the PPP application. In this example, I'll be using Kabbage, who uses SmartBiz platform to handle the application. As you can see, right after starting the PPP loan, it redirects me to the SmartBiz platform. So if you want, you can directly go with the SmartBiz online bank network as well. To start the application, it will ask you your basic information like name, email, phone number, and type of business. So go ahead and fill out the details. Now you can choose what type of business you fall under. It could be sole proprietor or independent contractor / gig worker. I'm going to show this process for independent contractors, so I'll choose independent contractors, but please choose your own category according to your work. Then you put in your PPP loan amount that you're looking forward to. As I've already shown you how to calculate that amount earlier, please use the same method to calculate the PPP loan amount. Now, this does not need to be accurate, as they will change the amount if they find the incomes to be different later on the process. It will then check if you pre-qualify for PPP loan by asking some business questions and your information. Please answer the questions as per your own circumstances. Now it's asking if you have received the PPP loan last year or the first draw. If you did, answer yes, but in this example it's no. Now remember, it won't affect the outcome, so don't worry about it. Answer as per your case. If you did receive the PPP loan, then it'll ask you for the amount you have received. Next, it's asking you for the timeline of your business. When did you start the business? Again, it won't affect the outcome. Just remember that you have to be operational on February of 2020 to be eligible for this loan. The reason being that to qualify for PPP loan, your business has to be affected by the COVID-19. Next, the question is asking about the business sector you are in. Again, answer as per your case. A lot of people are doing tax accounting. Some are in healthcare sector, being self-employed. Uber and Lyft drivers will fall under transportation. Software management and maintenance will be under technology. Real estate agent will be under real estate. Financial advisor will be under financial services, and so on. Next is the business address. Now put in your business address if you have one, or else if you are self-employed or independent contractors working from home, or you don't have an office, then put your own home address here. Next is the number of employees. Again, if you are a business owner, then you will need to put the number of employees you have in your payroll. Self-employed and independent contractors most likely will be working on their own, so they have no employees. Answer accordingly. Then it's giving you the option to create a password, which basically is to create an account for the application on the platform. Next is going to ask some question about your business owners. Add the name of the owner or owners. Self-employed and independent contractors will be adding their own name and ownership to 100% most likely, unless your case is different. Then you'll need to give out your home address and personal details like date of birth and social security number. So by now it should let you know if you pre-qualify or not, and the next will be the financials and calculating your actual PPP loan amount. It will ask for business entity type. The options are pretty self-explanatory, so just remember, some individuals are working as self-employed or independent contractors by establishing a S corporation rather than their own name. In that case, you'll need to choose S corporation even if you are independent contractor or gig worker. Employees will be none in most cases, but if you do have employees under W-2, then mention it here. Next is your NAISC code, or North American Industry Classification System code. It's usually 2 to 6 digits code that has been put in place for every industry. Now, if you don't know your NAISC code, simply Google NAISC code for your business industry and you'll find one. And finally, your business starting date. Next, choose the documents that will be used to calculate your PPP loan amount. I would suggest to use your tax documents unless you have employees. Once you choose the tax documents, you will need to look into your Schedule C from your tax document. So have it ready. You'll also need to upload it later on. You can use 2019 or 2020 tax documents, whichever yields most loan for you again. Then you'll need to put your gross income from tax documents like we saw earlier. This is an example of Schedule C, and you can see the gross income is in line 7. Once you put your gross income, your monthly and PPP loan amount will be automatically calculated. And finally, some helpful information about your business and income. Just provide some brief details you might think will help with the application. Next, they will need to verify that the information you gave is correct by uploading your Schedule C form. The next is going to be some yes or no question about your business. The questions are self-explanatory, so answer them based on your case. And finally, some business story in brief for them to understand your business type. The purpose of the loan is an important question. Like I said before, it is much easier for self-employed and independent contractors to have the PPP loan forgiven as an owner compensation. But if you wish to use the loan on other business expenses, then you can do so under the guidelines. Business expenses included are operation expenses like software subscriptions or services used in business operations like payroll, sales, filing, and bookkeeping. Other categories are property damage, repairs, but only to those caused by public disturbances in 2020 that insurance didn't cover. Supplier cost, worker protection expenses, mortgage interest payments, business rent payments, business utility payments, interest payments on debts incurred before February 15th of 2020, etc. So be careful not to spend the loan in random business expenses because it won't be forgiven if you spend outside of the guidelines. Next up is your business info. You can put your own details here if you are self-employed and independent contractors. Job titles is not relevant here if you are self-employed or independent contractor. Demographic questions are optional. You can prefer not to disclose them if you don't want to. And finally, in closing, there will be some SBA questions, and these questions are pretty straightforward to answer, so answer them as per your case again. If you are providing the services to customers and public, then say yes to the first SBA question, but if your services are to business companies, then it's a no. If by taking the loan you are going to hire an employee, then mention the number of employees or jobs you will place. But if you are going to be working alone, then it won't create a new job, so the answer will be 0. So as you can see, the questions are very straightforward, and I hope you can answer them as per your own case. So I won't go in detail of every question, otherwise this video will be too long. But if you have a question, you can ask me in the comment section and I'll help you out with that particular question. So next is bank details. And again, if you're working alone without any entity, then you can put your own bank details here. And for closing, they will ask you for the proof of identification. Please provide your details here and your authorization before the submission. And for the last part, the supporting documents to verify the details you have mentioned earlier. Here, just provide the tax file documents of 2019 or 2020. Then, to confirm that your business was operational and operating on February 15th, 2020, provide the receipts of the services or the products sold. If you do not have it, then the bank statements with the transaction will also work. In this example, I'll be uploading the receipts. And same thing, but for 2019 operations, provide the documents too. So once you submit the documents, your application will be finalized. That completes the loan application with the lender. You can track the loan status from their website anytime you want. It gives you the stages of loan process and where your application is at the time of checking. Right after completing the loan application, you'll receive a first email with submission acknowledgement from the lender. Then after a couple of days, you'll receive a second email saying the lender is reviewing your application. And finally, you'll get a third email saying the review process is complete and e-signature requirement for SBA promissory note. And this is the final document you'll need to complete before the PPP loan is dispersed. It's mostly a promissory note with SBA. Here is the example of the SBA promissory note you'll need to complete with e-signature. Make sure the details are correct, and once verified, complete it with e-signature and submit the documents. So that's the entire PPP loan application procedure step by step. After this, your funds should be dispersed within a couple of business days. Remember, you will need to apply for PPP loan forgiveness after 8 to 10 weeks. And I'll make a different video on that. I hope I was able to clear the confusion, but if you are not, or if you have any questions, then please comment below. I'll try to help you out there. Once again, if you like my video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more informative videos. Thank you everyone, and have a good one.